Okay, welcome all of you to this second episode on career opportunities in different domains and fields. We have our speaker today, Sambit Sengupta, who is Associate Director, Solution Sales at Avnet Asia. He has 20 plus years of experience leading the semiconductor industry, and he has worked with Fortune 200 companies, and he's someone who strongly believes that life always begins with one step outside of your comfort zone. And believe me, I know Sambit from past 20 years, I guess 24 years to be precise. And I've seen this guy coming out of the comfort zone and trying and accepting challenges, whether it's personal or professional life. So yes, welcome Sambit, and over to you.
Thanks. Thanks, Shalini, for this wonderful opportunity to interact with everyone. As you rightly said, 24 years plus that you know me, but I'm floored by the introduction that you gave me, precise and to the point. And the people who are seeing this live or will see it later on, I want it to be useful for you. So that it would immensely give me pleasure if you ask me questions, clarify any doubts that you may have, and it would be my privilege to answer all of you. Okay, without wasting much time, let me share the screen with your permission, Shalini.
Yes, please. Oh,
Okay.
I haven't given you the permission, I guess, is it?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, it's there.
Good. Just let me know once you are able to see this.
Yes, the screen is visible. And guys, if you have any questions, you can ping in the chat window. And or else, whenever somebody takes a pause, you can definitely ask your questions.
Good. So next 40 or 45 minutes or for thereabout, what are we going to talk today? I want to utilize this time to talk about the upcoming trends in electronics market, growth in emerging market. When I say emerging market, I am taking India as the main market what we are today. Okay, I will also touch upon the nearby South Asia and Asian market and the growth prospects there from job perspective, from career perspective. And you may have heard about this term gig economy. My idea is to give you some pointers how to leverage the gig economy. Then a topic which is very close to my heart and where I have been working for past 6 years, that is giving you a brief about IoT landscape. And then the prospects and career prospects in particular in Industry 4.0 in India and in our neighboring countries also. Good. So feel free to ask me questions over the chat. The technology is such that I feel like a radio jockey, so may not be able to interact chat live with you, but I will try to answer them at the end of the session today. So moving on, what, how, and why? These are the three questions that primarily makes us think about our life in general, right? In our career decisions, we should always think about the why portion first. Like, why I am doing this today? And let me start with a story which is like quite old. I did my graduation in electronics engineering, and there were less guidance points for me to understand why I am doing this, why this is important. And nevertheless, I had to learn by applying it. So I had to, in fact, try out 28 to 30 different interviews to get my first break. And today, whoever is hearing this, I want to assure you that initial failures though very difficult. Maybe you will try to compare yourself with somebody who is progressing very fast relative to you, but have patience, because in our life we should have the why very uh, properly mapped out. We should know what's our purpose and why we are doing this. So my purpose today's of this call is, or this session is, you should be clear what are the prospects, and you as the young professionals, the professionals who will lead our country to greater glory, uh, maybe take some inspiration from what I say. uh, there was nobody with experience to guide me when I started. That should not be the case with you, right? And how and what's are, according to the golden circle from a thought leader, Mr. Simon Sinek, is secondary. If your why is mapped out, you are clear, then how and what happens very nicely. It slots into it. Okay. So you as electronics, or the one who loves electronics, I'm assuming this because you are taking some time out and attending this webinar. So you are interested that what are the prospects as a electronics engineer. Now that field is very big, and trust me, I started as an electronics engineer right from the college days as a EE engineer, as a engineer who took part in IEEE activities. And today, after 2 decades, to slightly more than that, I became a senior member, ambition to become a fellow, and all this happens, but a lot of hard work goes. Now, core jobs for engineering graduates, there are many, I assure you. These are some traditional roles. Many of you will be knowing this as a ASIC designer, application specific integrated circuit design engineers, or FPGA engineers, field programmable gate array engineers. There are a lot of jobs in primarily 3 cities, that is Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Delhi, where you can get jobs, or you can have a very good career, high paying career as a design engineers in ASIC and FPGA design engineers. There is a if you do an electronics engineering, have some more detailed interest in analog design, circuitry designs, you can have a flourishing career as analog design engineers. There are engineering jobs available as a testing and verification engineers. We call it IVV, that is independent verification and validation engineering jobs. One very lucrative but little bit underrepresented is PCB and CAD engineering. Now, when I say PCB engineering, the field has evolved over a period of time where we used to use pen and paper method of designing to very advanced PCB design softwares available, which require smart engineers to utilize them and do a good job about it. There are numerous avenues open after you graduate. You can do research and you can assessment council and get a job in DRDO, ISRO, BARC, or other public sector organizations. You can work as RF and microwave design engineers. This is one area where we have very few uh, well-trained engineers. RF is something radio frequency based, or microwave design engineers, where you learn on the job, not the training of 4 years, or even if you are a postgraduate, doesn't prepare you sufficiently as a RF or microwave design engineers. And finally, okay, I missed the network engineering. That is also emerging, as well as lot of jobs available, because we are transitioning from 4G to 5G. Uh, Two of the largest um, mobile network operators will have their network in 5G. And those will be rolled out in 2 years. A lot of network engineers will be required to maintain the backhaul, the backends, and everything. And finally, like the point I was making, is technical sales. Lot of job opportunities for electronics engineers are available as technical sales. Those who give the value of what the semiconductor is available, or how to sell a EDA tool, that is electronic design automation tools, And these are some of the core jobs where you can utilize your training of 4 years or more, 2 years, 6 years if you are doing a post graduation. And these jobs are easily available in the market. Nevertheless, I saw that some of you are diploma holders also. And I am pleased to tell you a lot of core jobs available as the electronics diploma holder or even MSc engineers in terms of test and verification engineers, PCB CAD engineers, network engineers, service and maintenance engineers, as well as skilled technicians, tradesmen in defense forces, that is in Indian Air Force or Navy. These are high paying jobs, but if you are blessed with campus recruitment, good, but sometimes you have to do a lot of hard work to get into this kind of career pathways. Now, I'm aware that what happens initially, everybody is not lucky enough to get a government job or get into the core job. Natural phenomenon is let us get trained into some certification or some kind of coding job and then waste the training that you had for 4 years as an electronics engineer. I'm not saying it's should not be explored, but you should be proud that you got trained as an electronics engineer and try to keep the get yourself into a core job more and more, because our country needs well trained engineers in all these job or career growth paths that are there, right? So what are the emerging trends?
Sambit,
Yes.
I have a question. So if you can go to the previous slide. So like you said, diploma holders, right? So nowadays, after 10th, the people do 3 years of diploma. So you mean to say immediately after that, they can enter into these fields, maybe doing some
Yes,
certification, no need to do the 3 years of again graduation. If they choose not to because of certain reasons, maybe.
true. So there is a trend that after diploma, people get into
Hmm.
the engineering graduationship
Correct.
as a lateral entry. Uh,
Hmm.
while I encourage you should go for higher studies, of course, that is possible, but many people may not be able to do financial or many hundreds of reasons can be
Right.
there. But yes, you have these career avenues available, especially PCB engineers. This is one job profile which is just exploding, especially high speed PCB design, 16 layers, 20 layers, and really there is a dearth of well-trained people in PCB engineering. People know the tools, but because of the nature of the training of a diploma holders in India especially, they get more hands-on. So I'm very proud to work with PCB engineers who have passed as a diploma holders, do a fantastic job as PCB engineers. So this is one of the job avenue, but they can also get into as skilled tradesmen in Indian Air Force, Navy, Army also, and service and maintenance engineers. I will come to this point later, maybe when I talk about the gig economy. The world is requiring more and more maintenance engineers, and these are highly paid jobs. You may start with small salary, but over the years you get uh, good exposure and you will be valued. Hope that long-winded answer suffices.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Okay, so moving on.